friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eso, this is EsoTarot, and in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be looking at what is next in life for you. So I got a little cheeky with it. I guess this is a nature themed reading again, but we are going to start by looking at what season are you entering. So I kind of had like a idea of like this would be the next 3 months, and mind you, this is the next 3 months when you see this video, not the next 3 months as of when I'm posting. This is timeless, so when you find it is when you're meant to see it. But like I said, we're going to start by looking at what season you're entering, and that is just the overall energies that you're going to be experiencing during the next 3 months. And then we're going to get more specific and go into tarot, and we're going to look at what is beginning to grow in a new way in your life. Or I worded that poorly. I kind of meant to say like what new growth is happening. So what's new that's entering in your world, or that is starting to just, begin. And then we're going to look at what is blooming / flourishing. So something in your world that is growing, doing well, is kind of easy, not something that you have to worry about too deeply, but enjoy watching or experiencing bloom, I guess. Then we're going to look at what quiet changes are taking root beneath the surface. So things that are happening that you might not be aware of, but that the universe, spirit, whatever you believe in, wants you to know is happening beneath the surface, even if you can't see it. And then we're going to look at what blessing will you be harvesting at the end of these 3 months. So a positive outcome for this time, a gift for doing this little thing we called life for another 3 months. And then we'll finish off with a guidance card. So gonna be pretty straightforward. We have 3 different groups for you to choose from today. So starting with group number 1, we are going to be using the Lord of the Rings tarot, and I have this tiger's eye stone with a lion carving on top. And then for group number 2, we are going to be using the Forest Spirit Imprint Tarot, and I have this green calcite Bulbasaur on top. And then for group number 3, we are going to be using the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, and I have this amethyst rose on top. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. It's possible there could be different areas of life. Maybe like, for example, if you pick a group and then the season of life you're entering just sounds so different from where your life is, maybe try a different group, because that might be a sign that it's not for you. But ideally, you should be able to find the group that is meant for you. So now I'm going to help those of you that are struggling to know what group to pick. I am just going to use these astro dice and see what signs, symbols, synchronicities, energies might be relevant, or not necessarily relevant to the reading. They could be relevant to the reading, but just relevant to those of you who may benefit from seeing each group. So starting with group number 1, what signs, symbols, syncs are significant for my group 1 people to help let them know that group 1 is for them? Okay, we have Neptune. So if you've seen SpongeBob recently, or Mrs. Puff, Pufferfish, because I literally just heard, oh, Neptune. Like, I just hear Mrs. Puff being like, oh, Neptune. And I was actually thinking about the sun as well. And so the fact that it's underneath it, Neptune or the sun could be significant. Pisces or Leo energy could be significant, especially with lions, if lions have been significant, or the Lord of the Rings. If you've been in a place where you're struggling to discern between intuition and illusion, group 1 might be for you. If you're near an ocean or water, or on a boat even, that would be sick. You better let me know if you're on a boat, because like, that's cool. I love that for you. Poseidon could be significant. Dolphins crabs, shellfish, anything like that. Also, if you've been having like really vivid dreams, or if you dreamt about water in some way recently, this could be your group. Okay, so starting with for group number 2, what signs, symbols, synchronicities, energies could be significant for my group 2 signs? Okay, we have Sagittarius. So Sagittarius energy could be significant. You could be watching this when the moon is in Sagittarius, or during Sagittarius season. So that would be in end of November, most of December. You could be exploring different philosophies or spiritual ideals. Archangel Michael could be significant, or the name Michael or Michelle could be significant. You could be trying to integrate, like, you could be, temperance energy could be significant to your life right now. And temperance energy is really like the blending of opposites, like finding balance, moving more slowly but in an integrated way, reorganizing life, or harmonizing life, I think is a better way. If you're trying to find harmony, or the name Harmony, or like musical names like Harmony or Melody could be significant. Also like Jack blues, like I was thinking blues and jazz, but then Jack came out, and then I was thinking of Jack Daniels, but then like Jack Blue, I don't know what that means, but like take that as it resonates. My dog's middle name was Blue, so it's kind of iconic. Oh, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. It just made me think of the little blue guy. If you've ever seen that show, that's kind of a deep cut. I don't expect a lot of you to know what that is, but like if you were watching Cartoon Network in 2009, oh my god, the vibes were immaculate. Also Pokemon, because you know we've got Bulbasaur here, and I would also say like earth energies in general could be significant here. Also the song Golden, like I was just looking at the arrow and like hearing like we're going up, up, up. So also elevators and escalators. All right, for my group 3s, what signs, symbols, and synchronicities could help those who need help picking know that group 3 could be for them? Okay, we have number 1. So I love that. If you're right now looking out for number 1, if you're single and you either want to be or don't want to be, if you're just single, maybe this group is for you. If you've been seeing 111 or 111, if you're watching this in January or have a birthday in January, or if you're watching this on like the 1st of the month, or if you have a birthday on the 1st of the month. Let's see what else. I literally saw, a great quote. I'm trying to think of it. There was something like, remember, in order to be number 1, you gotta be odd. So if you're trying to embrace your quirkiness, or embrace like the parts of you that make you different, group 3 could be for you. And if you've had like a single focused, like if you've been like laser focused on one area of your life, group 3 might be for you as well. But that is all I have for extra pile picking help. If you still don't know which group to pick, just go with your gut, and I promise you'll get it figured out. But intro squad, it's intro squad time, and I have a very specific question for you today. Luckily, I actually have it in my brain still, and that is, what tarot card is your vibe right now? And it's okay if it's not a positive card. Well, I mean, like, positive and negative cards that's like subjective, but mostly subjective. What is your vibe and why? It's okay if Like, are you in a Three of Cups or a Three of Swords energy? Like, what card are you emulating right now and why? Feel free to share whatever you want. I will say for me, I've been on my Queen of Pentacles shit, as you can see. And I've really been loving it. Like, my garden is going well. I've been harvesting strawberries and eating them from my garden. My bell peppers are growing in. I'm really excited because I completely forgot what colors I planted. So they're all green right now, obviously, but you know, they're getting bigger and I'm so excited to see like what color are they gonna be. It's like it's like color changing magic. And yeah, I've just been like embracing the earth element and it's been really lovely. I feel like I've been tuning into my body more and just like really focusing on getting grounded and connecting to the world around me, which, you know, has been lovely. And I just feel like, I don't know, I've just been feeling more like nourished and just feeling good, like I'm just loving being outside and being with plants. Like, plants are so freaking cool. And I love how they're such a, like, they're a great way to foster connection, I've noticed. Like, people from all walks of life can bond over plants. And I just love it. And I think it's rad. And it's been such a cool gift to, like, be able to... Like, I was able to give my grandma herbs that I grew out in my garden. Like, that was, like, the coolest thing ever to me. Like, it just made me so happy. And, like, I don't know. I've really been enjoying being on my Queen of Pentacles shit. So, let me know what shit you've been on. I would love to hear. But, yeah, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into your readings now. I love you guys so much. Once you pick your group or groups, all the timestamps will be down in the description box or the comment section. But let's be real, you guys probably know the drill by this point. But once you have picked your group or groups, I will see you in your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Lord of the Rings Tarot and the Tiger's Eye Lion, this is going to be your reading on what's next in life. So we're going to start by looking at the season, the overall... We're looking at the next 3 months and what season of life you're entering. I was just being cheeky. Okay, so what's next in life for you? I mean, that's kind of funny. Don't panic though. Don't panic. I'm sure it's fine. So we have the Death card, if you're not looking at the screen. We have ancestral messages, connection, belonging, ask for help. We have Hawthorne, everything has its moment. Oh, I love these illustrations. We have weather. And we have security. Okay. So the word I just heard in my head is turbulent or turbulence. The season that you're entering, I will say, is about to be a bit chaotic. But actually, I want you to either write this down or put a note in your phone. Or like, write this down and put it somewhere where you will see it or where you will happen upon it if you don't want it like right in front of your face. But no, just write down, no matter what happens, I am safe and everything is okay. And then you can put like up to the 3 months, but I would be willing beyond that. Because what I see here is you're undergoing a profound transformation that you're already kind of in the process of. I would be willing to bet for a lot of you, you're not even surprised to see the Death card come out. Though I do want to reassure all of you that like death doesn't mean it's not literal. I think most of you know that, but I've got to cover my bases. I do think though that you're in a powerful like transformation period where you're letting go of a lot of what doesn't work, but at the same time, you're connecting to and refining aspects of your being that are needed for where you're going beyond this 3-month period. This is a powerful time for you to connect with ancestors, and you don't have to do that consciously or literally, but I do feel like this is a time where you're getting to the root of generational cycles that have gotten in the way of your ability to enjoy your life and to live the way you actually want to. I feel like these are deeply rooted things. Like I'm literally hearing like it's a long time coming. So you might be feeling like, especially if there's certain like habits or behaviors or cycles that you fall into where you're aware of the cycle, you know the pattern, but you where you struggle is not continuing to act it out. Like sometimes you might even find that you're acting out the pattern without thinking, and it's only upon reflection that you realize, or it's only like you know that I'm gonna make fun of myself for a second. Like when I'm a little bit too loose with my ganj, you know, there will be times where I'm just like running around the house not even thinking, and then all of a sudden there's a joint in my hand. And the reason why I was laughing was because I was hearing like Tobey Maguire go, how'd that get in there? But to my hand, is that from Spider-Man? I don't know. I don't know, maybe Spider-Man was significant, but I feel like you might almost like, the point of me making fun of myself was just to say that like, I think that for you guys, there's a desire to break habits that are deeply entrenched, and you're doing it. Like this next season of life is about breaking those patterns, but I think that it's less so something that you have to like consciously focus and work on every single day, and more so life is happening and you get to choose how you respond. And if you are thinking that you know the rules to the game or like what life is expecting of you, you've lost the plot, because it's really not about doing what is right. It's about doing what is true. And in your case, I feel like what is true for you is going to vary moment by moment. Like what is true for you is going to be defined by different things in the moment. So like sometimes it might be defined by need, sometimes it might be defined by desire, sometimes it might be defined by circumstance. Like, and there's no way to fail this period of time, let me just say, because with this death card being here, that tells me that you're already successfully uprooting these patterns and habits that you don't want to carry with you anyway. But I do think that this is going to be a period of time where you're not going to necessarily have clarity on like your progress, or you might not be aware of just how much growth you're experiencing, because you might be looking at things through the lens of what you haven't been able to do, or through just like the frustrations that life might be throwing at you. Because one thing I see with this weather card here is that, you know, everything could be like the exact same for the next 3 months, but how you feel about it could vary. Like there could be just some days where you're feeling really good, and other days where, you know, things are just hard and you don't even quite understand why. And there could be like chaos around you that is either none of your business, or, you know, something that you do have to attend to. But even then, like, I really see these next 3 months as being opportunities for you to see how your decision making supports who you're becoming, and how it reinforces a version of you that is dying or gone. One thing I want to mention is that both of these cards, and this card actually depicts it, cave paintings. And I don't know what this is about, but there's this very like back to basics energy for this group, where I feel like you are going to be refining your consciousness in a way where you understand what's truly important. And on top of that, I think that this period of time is going to be one where, because things are out of control, it's going to be really helpful for you, because one thing that I think that you've needed is like permission or an excuse to just go inward or seek refuge. Like I feel like these next 3 months, the expectations you have of yourself are not the expectations that the universe has of you. And I think that the challenge here is, can you respond to yourself and how you handle challenges or just, you know, life as it's happening in ways that are compassionate to yourself and in ways that don't expose you or leave you in just the name of the game the next 3 months is don't punish yourself. Don't punish yourself. Be there for yourself. Like with this security card here, number one, this is a huge message that no matter what happens the next 3 months, you're going to be safe. But also, I feel like an even bigger calling to say that what you might be worried about occurring the next 3 months is far less extreme than I think that you are fearing. Really, just the challenge is you're like in the middle between a caterpillar and a butterfly, but it's almost like you don't have a cocoon to take refuge in. So like you're just a ball of mush trying to like exist in life as you take on a new form, and that's challenging, and you need to give yourself credit. Like sometimes a ball of mush needs to retreat and relax because it just hasn't grown its shell yet or its wings. I don't know. Like don't give yourself permission to cocoon when you need it. I definitely think like there will be times where circumstances like life is just chaotic and out of your control. And I actually think one of the challenges here might be, can you let that chaos happen and can you be there for yourself instead? Like if you're someone who's always there for everyone else, I think one of the challenges of this time is, can you accept the chaos out of your control and can you choose yourself and trust that others have got their ish figured out? Because I do think that'll be really helpful for you. But I also think as well, you're going to be reflecting in the next 3 months on what can survive as you move forward and what can't. You know, as you're in this process of transformation, I think you're going to see where certain habits and patterns of yours have like, I want to say fostered connection, but I'm talking specifically like there might be connections in your life, friends, family, romantic interests, whatever it may be, that might be taking advantage of your kindness or, you know, are just, there's an imbalanced dynamic there. And I think that these next 3 months are your opportunity to kind of take a step back and also be like, who's there for me when I need help? Because I think one thing that you're going to be seeing is that there might be some people in your world that don't have your back the way you have theirs, and the level of effort and energy and emphasis you put into them might be one of the things that like is holding you back or is just creating a lot of stress and strain. And I think that this is a pattern that goes beyond you. I think there is a habit here of feeling like you need to always be solid and need to be like the rock for everyone else. And as Mount Doom shows, I think that you're ready to erupt because like there's so much more to you than what you can do for others. And so I think that this time is kind of an important reckoning for your body and your spirit to just be able to take a step back and say, all right, you know what? This is a dumb random metaphor, but like I don't need to go take down the Christmas lights right now because there's a category 4 hurricane outside. Like, I think that when it gets hard to choose yourself, especially when like you have very important needs to tend to, or you really just need to be there for yourself, try to give like, try to recontextualize the situation in a way that basically justifies what you need. Because I feel like you actually don't need to justify what you need, but you might need to justify it to yourself in order for it to be valid. So if you like reframe it in a way of, oh, okay, it's probably not reasonable to be on my roof when there's, you know, a dangerous weather event happening. And so we could flip this and say, okay, it's probably not reasonable for me to offer to drive someone for 3 hours when I'm completely sleep deprived and I know that if I don't get rest, I am not going to be able to function next week. Like, I feel like there's if you have trouble choosing yourself, this is going to be the time where life tests you. Like, are you going to push yourself to the brink, or are you going to get the hint and take a damn break? Because you do need that. But I want to read this card for you. This is the deck that it comes from, by the way. Because I think that there's a lot of goodness here that you might be just like not seeing, or like I feel like you might be dreading these next 3 months, but honestly these next 3 months are about liberation and freedom for you, and also deeper connection to the parts of you that are like just very special. And and what I mean by special is like the gifts that you've inherited, and what makes you you, what makes you a part of your family, what makes you a part of, you know, a greater lineage. Like those, like there's a lot of positive aspects there, and those are going to be able to shine more as like the dysfunctional parts that have been like exhausting you, or you know, that have been on their way out. Because one thing I want to say as well is like you've been doing a great job. Like you have been already working on this. I think what's really big though is that these next 3 months are more so about stepping into that transformation, instead of just knowing what needs to change, or just taking like one big decisive action that changes everything. I think instead there's a lot of small action that compiles over time that shows that like fosters new growth, and also shows you where more effort or focus or more discernment is needed, for example. Anyway, Hawthorne. Everything has its moment. Hawthorne unveils what the soul longs for most by differentiating what is really important from what is not. It alerts us about self-sabotage and negative intentions that may come from the outside. It urges us to stop and ask ourselves if we're doing things at the right time and in the right way. And I guess the true way, since I said that earlier. Hawthorne can cut our paths, but it can also give us vision to get back on track. The hawthorn represents the burrow to which we turn for shelter when we have lost the thread of what we really want in life. For its double blossoming reminds us that all phases are necessary and perfect, and that even when we feel pain or stagnation, we must be patient, since without the dark night, the bright sun could never rise. In the illustration of this beautiful card, we see how the groundhog is governed by its own nature and instinctively knows when it's time to rest and disconnect, to rest in the shadow, and when it is time to become active and make progress, to hatch in the light. Everything has its time and its reason for being. The hawthorn is all about connecting with the cyclical nature of oneself and becoming aware of the importance of acting according to one's own rhythm, without haste, with care and patience. Sometimes the fruits we plant do not germinate for the sole and simple reason that we've planted them at the wrong time and in disharmony with our inner feeling. Therefore, the presence of hawthorn in your spread brings a somewhat dual and contrary message that in any case will require your deep reflection and inner balance. So that is actually two big themes. This next season is about deep reflection and inner balance. On the other hand, it may be indicating that a situation that worries you requires your action and involvement, as perhaps you have been numb for too long and controlled by idleness. And so in that case, when there's something that you do need to act on, I feel like you'll know what it is, and it might be a little bit confronting, but if you don't know what to do, think about like if there's a mirroring situation with like family members or ancestors or something like that, and see like what they did. And is it something you would like? What happened? What was the outcome? Like, do you think that they acted positively or did they act destructively? Like, was it helpful? Was it not? Like, I think for some of you, there's the wisdom of they did things this way and it worked for them, or they did things the way you've been doing them and it hasn't worked so great for them. So what can we do differently? And I also think there's encouragement here to ask for help from those you feel have the wisdom to help you do what's best for you. But on the other hand, it may also be warning you that at this time you are acting impulsively and hastily, so perhaps you should adopt a more reflective and observant attitude before proceeding. In either case, it will be up to you to understand exactly what situation the hawthorn is alerting you to. And so that's kind of what I was saying about like, it's less about you just actively making choices these next 3 months and more about you responding to life and like the inner balance between like what you're trying to create, what your desires are, you know, if you have worries, if you have things you want to address, versus what's happening around you. And I just have to say, you're going to do great. I already know you're going to do amazing, but it might not be very satisfying in the moment, because a lot of the a lot of the value and benefits of this process will be seen beyond this time, not while you're in the middle of it. To connect with this wonderful tree, it's not necessary to ask any specific question. We only need to open our heart so that it can observe what we long for, when we were lost, or what we need to remember, understand, or let go of, and in order to follow the path that our soul traces. Sometimes the hawthorn will whisper the beginning of a story so that we can retrace it with our own steps and see in our mind's eye where it leads us to. At other times, it will act as a mirror to show us all the grace and goodness that beats within us. But many others, it will not respond to us with words, but gently rock us so that the stagnant energy flows back to us in a natural way, working on each of the chakras and thus releasing blockages that limit us. Finally, hawthorn is a magical tree that blesses and strengthens the union of hearts. So if you are asking about any matter related to love, friendships, family, and relationships in general, the hawthorn represents the best of omens, as it announces that soon there will be understanding, blessing, harmony, and union. Therefore, you can turn to the hawthorn whenever you need to sponsor or channel a relationship so that it develops from unconditional love. And I think that's the thing here as well. Like, if you are working through heavy or difficult things with, say, family, or a partner, or romantic interest, or a really close friend, this is definitely not saying that like it will end forever or something like that, but I do think that you might have to make choices in this period of time that are uncomfortable, that ask you to step up, that either ask you to, you know, say yes in ways that make you feel vulnerable, say no in ways that make you feel vulnerable, like say no in ways that make you feel guilty, or reach out in ways that make you feel afraid. I feel like whatever choices, as long as those choices that you make, you feel are in alignment with like what is true for you, like we said, I don't really think you can go wrong here. But I do feel called to give you reassurance that first of all, if doing what's best for you causes any relationships to fall away, I think that's a sign that maybe they weren't as aligned as maybe you thought. But for a lot of you, I feel like these situations are actually going to create a healthier outcome for everyone involved, because I think a necessary rebalancing for you is just going to lead to just more healthy flowing connection between you and everyone in your life. And also just more peace in acting. There's just more peace. Let's just leave it there. More peace. So I'm going to go ahead now and start shuffling your cards for the questions more deeply. Look at that. So while I'm doing that, you should go ahead and leave me a like or subscribe if you haven't already, because if you have good taste, you should probably want to show evidence of that. But also, you know, feel free to share like what is leaving your life, like what transformation are you undergoing, what have been the blessings and challenges of this time. And I think there's another encouragement as well. Sometimes you may just need time in your cave, whatever that is. But like, I think like removing a lot of sensory distractions, like I feel like we need to be in darkness and silence, and like maybe there's a fire, or maybe there's like a soft warm light or something like that. But I feel like you just need time away from the noise of the world. I feel like that will really help you a lot. And I think also too, a lot of answers within you that feel inaccessible are actually a lot more accessible than you realize. I think it's just being willing to accept the feelings of discomfort that arise when those answers come up, because you might almost be not even considering those answers as like options, because you might feel guilty or ashamed or feel like, you know, it makes you a bad person. But maybe in considering it, you might realize like there's value in it you weren't seeing before, because you are, yeah, that's for whoever that's for. I don't even know if what I said out loud made sense, but thankfully you guys are smart enough to figure it out. And if you don't get what I meant, then it's not a message for you. Okay, so what new life, new growth is entering group one's world? Okay, I'm not looking at it. My eyes are closed and I'm laying it down. Okay. What is blooming, flourishing in the next 3 months, the next months of life for group one? What quiet changes are taking root beneath the surface? Okay, and what blessings will my group ones be harvesting at the end of this season? Okay, same question, but it's tarot time. I can't help, I have to like divide the cards into threes. It's just one of my little thingies, but I definitely think you guys are harder on yourselves than you need to be. And I think that as well, you might even, a little thought experiment for you. What if it was daytime all the time? Or what if it was nighttime all the time? Or what if it never rained? Unless you live in a desert. And pretend like irrigation doesn't exist. Like, think about, you know, the aspects of life that you wish you could control. And think about how, like, those aspects of life actually, you know, lead to, like, our necessary counterbalances. Like, for example, forest fires are terrible. But, like, controlled burnings and stuff like that have been a thing for a very long time because they can, you know, fire is cleansing. Gender reveal parties that cause forest fires, less so, but, you know, like, there's a lot of value to the parts of life that scare the shit out of us or that are, you know, like, challenging to navigate. And maybe the gift is being able to let go of control and just being able to do your best and be at peace with whatever you do and whatever you choose, because, like, ultimately you're just one person. You can only do so much, you know? Like, maybe the weighty expectations you place upon yourself, maybe those didn't even I look at those, because I feel like you might even be, like, wanting to make, you know, it, like, people in your family or ancestors, like, proud, whether they're still here or not. And maybe they don't even have those expectations of you that you think they do. Or maybe you recognize the expectations they have of you are unrealistic. So that as well. But what new life, what seeds are being planted? What newness is coming into group one's world? What is blooming or flourishing in group one's world? What quiet changes are taking root beneath the surface? And what blessing will group three be harvesting at the end of this period of time? Okay, so let's see what new things are entering your world in the next 3 months. So we have the Three of Pentacles and we have Perseverance. So I definitely think that what the new thing entering your world, here's the interesting thing. I don't think this is new. There's a new attitude. Okay. I'm hearing our Lord and Savior Hannah Montana in my head, and, you know, and her very wise song, Life is What You Make It, she says, with a new attitude, everything can change. And I think that what's new is your standards and your attitude around collaboration, around work responsibilities, around, like, teamwork, and around, like, use of shared resources are changing. I feel like there's this kind of, I don't know if you're like creating new rules, or there might be new work opportunities coming into your world, or you're just taking opportunities already there more seriously. I feel like, though, there's this burst of motivation to not, like, well, I don't know if it's to not give up, because I feel like you're not a quitter, but you know, maybe there are like career things that you've been like, maybe I need to put this on the back burner, maybe it's time to let this go. I see deeper commitment to things you're already creating, but also or things that you're working on. But I also think that you're changing your expectations. Like if you work with others, for example, or you know, if you're working on it like a team thing, or you have like a collaboration happening, I think your expectations are changing of like what others are capable of in a good way. Because I think that you have a level of perseverance that's pretty impressive. But I think the only time you stop yourself is when you doubt yourself. So I feel like there's this shift in how you believe in yourself, and being willing to be more committed to like career prospects, or to ways of working and ways of collaborating that not only work for you, but ensure that there's no that ensure you're not being taken advantage of, especially in ways where, you know, people might make excuses. Like if you've always been the type of person to do the group work for everyone, there's like this kind of understanding of changing how you do things to make things fairer, and also sticking with it even when it's really uncomfortable. I definitely think here you might be asking for help more, or opening up to people that you trust, like, and maybe even too, you might even be connecting with, like, if you work on a team, for example, you might be opening up and sharing things or fears or concerns that maybe you didn't realize they also shared. I definitely think, though, in general, there's a level of determination here that's really kind of beautiful, because it's starting to consider you as part of the team rather than this is what the team needs from me. So what I see here is, you know, no, I can't write up something because I'm already doing XYZ, and also I don't see you do, like, I just see you taking the lead in terms of rebalancing tasks in ways that work for you. But I also see as well, just when it comes to productive relationships in your life, like relationships that might be related to work, or where you just build something positive with these people, I see you putting in the work. And sometimes that'll actually be putting in less work. The name of the game, like, the name of the game these next 3 months is contradiction, because, like, what's next in life? Death. Like, what's new? Perseverance. Like, and I don't think that you're someone who doesn't persevere, but if there is an area of life where you have been worried, or where things have been challenging and it doesn't seem like there's no clear answer, whether it's related to work or not, I do see you kind of opening up to outside opinions that you trust, you know, maybe opinions that are involved in this situation, and committing to a plan either with them, or sticking to a plan that is necessary in order to create balance on the team. Because, like, what I see here is there's either an imbalance of power where, you know, in taking the lead, you're taking unnecessary amounts of responsibility, or in doing everything on your own, you're missing out on like collaboration and connection. So for some of you, it's like you're bringing in, you know, teamwork, support, help. But for others of you, you're refining existing collaborative relationships, work relationships, any relationships in your life really that you know need, you get what I'm saying? Maybe you don't. I apologize if I'm being unclear. I started drinking coffee again. This might be the problem. It might be Miss Ma'am right here. So Note to self, I will probably not be drinking coffee during these readings, but there's just like a willingness to open up and ask for help, or a willingness to know what isn't helping, what isn't working for you, and stick with that. Like, if you're in a position where you're a part of a team, but you're the only one doing the work, or maybe you need to open up to more team dynamics or to people that you can trust to build with that you haven't been opening up to. So for those of you that are in a more solitary energy, I do think that this is more what's new for you, is like finding care and support by reaching out and asking for those who, you know, you trust, who you do have your best interests at heart, who, like, you know, you can work with. And for those of you that are already in like team dynamics or in unhealthy dynamics where you just know something has to change, I see you committing to that change and expecting more of others and persevering with that even when, you know, it's uncomfortable. So I really like to see this. But let's see what's blooming, what's flourishing. So this is something in your life that is improving in these next three months, and also it doesn't really take much effort or energy on your part. Ooh, so for that we have the 9 of Pentacles and we have Passage. So I love to see this. Like, there's beautiful rainbow energies here. So number 1, I feel like your finances are growing. I love to see that. But number 2, I see as well taking your power back and more healthy, grounded independence. And I also see as well, like, when it comes to your finances, if you've been giving away, you know, a lot of your time, and like, time is money, you know what they say, like, even if it's not like, even if you're not literally giving money away, I feel like what's blooming in your life is whatever you are doing to give back to yourself, first of all. But second of all, what's blooming is a sense of stability that feels grounded and comfortable in the midst of unknown changes. So I kind of see you as like a ship. You know, what's blooming is this ability to, you know, maintain your, like to flow with the waves and do what you need to do, but also find your center and find groundedness even in the middle of water, even in the middle of like an ocean where, you know, the currents are out of your control. Like, I feel like your self-worth and your self-esteem are going to be, you know, feeling a lot stronger. I feel like your bank account is going to be stronger. And like, realistically, I think what you are going to be seeing is that, you know, maybe a lot of the things that you judged yourself for, like, I'm just not good enough, or like things just don't work out for me, or I'm being punished by God or the universe. Like, I think what you're going to realize are misconceptions drawn from beliefs that you had around your identity and your roles and how you needed to show up for people in your life that was keeping you in a deficit. I want to see what this Passage card says, but I don't even know if oh yeah, it's over here. And it's not over there. Oh, it's right here. Okay, let's see. This is the Rooting Wings Oracle, by the way. Let's see, Passage. May come after a loss. This is the transition period. You may still feel darkness from having to let go of something you love, but there is a promise of hope and light. So yeah, I definitely think like it really fits with this Death card, where I feel like you're gaining stability in the midst of these unknowns. And I also think that you're accepting that sometimes your journey is going to require you to choose yourself, and that doesn't make you selfish. But I also, as well, like, I feel like another thing that could be flourishing at this time is travel. I know this card doesn't necessarily talk about that, but I do think that, like, travel could be linked to, like, and it's selfish travel, and it's not selfish, but it's like travel for you, like leisure travel. It's not travel that's like, oh, I gotta go, you know, I gotta go to the granite store and, you know, because like my friends want to look at granite countertops. I think I'm projecting there because I've been to a lot of stores like that with my mom. And I've cherished all those moments, but you know, I probably actually would enjoy the granite store more now. I mean, the slabs are huge. It's if you've ever been to a granite, like, it's kind of impressive, like how they got all these big ass rocks everywhere. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I do think this is a time where you are flourishing through letting go of control and finding more security in your independence, because I do feel like you are an independent person in a lot of ways, but I feel like there is a codependence that is being refined in your life right now that is showing you where more independence is needed, and also where you're being hyper independent and where maybe some leaning on others could be more helpful. And I do think like the fact that both of these cards are earth cards here, I do feel like the support that you are receiving is grounded, is practical. It's like a new thing you might be doing is like going to therapy or like seeking out community that gives you support in a way that makes it easier to keep going. But the beautiful thing in terms of what's blooming and flourishing is just a healthy sense of independence, your bag, and this ability to move forward in life without knowing what the destination is, but trusting that you've gotten this far and everything's going to be okay. Like, and I think another thing you're going to see as well is that it's going to be easier and easier for you to make decisions based on what's true for you. And I think what's really liberating as well is you're just going to realize like maybe ways in which you've been beating yourself up or feeling like where you've been martyring yourself. You're going to realize that not only does it feel great not to do that, but on top of it, it gives other people the opportunity to save themselves. And I think you're going to be amazed at how much time and energy you have as this period moves along, because you are just listening to, oh, I need to go in my cave. Oh, I need to go do that thing. Oh, I need to reach out to this person. Like, and the I need is coming from I need to because that's true. So let's see what's happening underneath the surface while, how did I write this? This is what I get for being cute. I can't remember my my questions. What quiet changes are taking root beneath the surface? So beautiful. We have the moon. And we have the sun. Talk about contradictions. Okay. So I think what's changing is a new rhythm. A new rhythm and the ability to embrace the moment. I feel like, especially for those of you that are huge planners or just like, you know, like to know what's happening or like to be in control of what's going on, I feel like there's a level of spontaneity that you're going to start integrating that is a huge relief. And that's not to say that you're not spontaneous at all. But what I am saying is that I feel like you are going to be embracing the dark and like the shadows of yourself, of life, of the world. Like, you're going to be embracing the underworld a little bit. Not that the moon is really the underworld, but that's more Plutonian. But I feel like there might be frustration because, you know, the moon is like illusions. It's what we can't see. It's our fears. It's not clear. But I think you are learning to truly embrace the lesson of everything has its moment and embrace like what's here and working with what's in the present, rather than like, well, I can't do anything because I'm not at this spot and I need to be there in order to do this. It's like, I think what the biggest change that's happening is you're learning to flow with life instead of being so strategic that you miss out on the opportunities that life has to offer. And I feel like this strategy has been a way of feeling in control for you. But I think what you'll realize is that in this unknowingness that you've been you know, stepping into, while it might be frustrating to lack clarity, you might find that through this time you're going to gain more and more powerful clarity about yourself, that like even if Jesus himself had, you know, knocked on your door and been like, hello, these are truths that you need to integrate, goodbye, you would be like, you probably still wouldn't believe it. You would just be like, yeah, I know Jesus said that, but like I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, I feel like some things you just have to learn for yourself in order for you to understand them. Like nobody, not even, you know, our boy JC, like could kind of get you out of certain patterns. Like I feel like there are truths that you just simply cannot see until you sit in the unknowingness that catalyzes the ability to see those truths. This is learning to be uncomfortable, like learning to be comfortable or accept the discomfort of a lack of clarity, of uncertainty, of illusions, and also learn what parts of me were productive during this time. Like when the clarity comes, it's learning a lot about yourself that maybe you didn't see, or learning a lot about how you can move in life in ways you didn't know you could, that are actually better than the strategies you came up with on your own. Like I feel like there's this kind of co-creation happening with the universe where instead of ignoring or getting angry or frustrated at the challenges life throws at you, or at the things you can't control or the things that you're uncertain about, it's almost like instead you're going to start seeing that as, ooh, there's a mystery here. Like, ooh, there's an opportunity to see something I haven't seen. I think you're going to actually enjoy seasons like this in the future, because the positive results of this time frame for you will show you that there's nothing to fear in these periods of time. And I also think a big change happening is seeing fear for what it is, seeing it more clearly, number one, and number two is like seeing yourself more clearly. I feel like there's more duality coming into your world, where like you might find yourself being more paradoxical, or like this and that are true. Like I think the ways in which life are changing, it's going to be reorienting how you choose to live your day, or just how you instinctually go about your day. I feel like it's going to feel better. And I also think that, I'm hearing that, I think a Buddha said it, there are only, like, it says something like, there are three things which cannot be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So I think that you are uncovering your truths, which are very important, obviously, through this process. And I think that through this time, like the changes that you can't see, but that will be obvious one day, is that, you know, the small changes that you make during this time are going to have huge shifts in terms of how present you're able to be in your everyday life. And that will also lead to more enjoyment. And it will also lead to more self-awareness when fear or illusions are getting in the way of your ability to act or to let something be that, you know, depending on the situation and where you're at, like learning to do what's true for you and what's best for you. And just having like a more embodied lived experience that's flowing with what's happening now and working with that, rather than trying to bend the world to your will, because that's not going to work very well. But let's go ahead and see what blessing you will be harvesting at the end of these 3 months. So we have the Two of Wands. Yes, beautiful. Okay, like this is, so the blessing that you will have at the end of this season is you'll know where you want to go. Or you may not know like all the specifics, but you will have a vision of where you go from here. You also might have the opportunity to travel. But I think that there's just a much bigger, like, the future seems brighter and you feel more at peace with your process of getting there because you are quite literally, like, we should call you Rascal Flats because, like, your life is a highwaying it. Like, you are learning to embrace the journey, not the destination, and you're realizing, ooh, maybe the destinations that I had in my soul GPS are not even where I want to go. So, like, I think a big blessing is you're getting a lot clearer on what are your dreams, what are your visions, what are you creating for the future, and what is expectation, what is pressure, what is societal weight, what is, you know, internalized expectations, or, you know, fragments of your consciousness that, you know, just don't align with who you're becoming. I feel like that is what's disappearing. And I think that you have this positive vision of the future. I think that you're going to have the opportunity to make travel plans or have the opportunity to, you know, just see the bigger picture in a way that brings you peace, and also in a way that excites you and helps you live a more balanced everyday life, because you, like, you're doing the dang thing, so you know you don't have to worry. Like, this feels like almost like a progression from the hare to the tortoise, you know, the fable, like, you know, the tortoise was slow and steady and the hare, you know, wasn't, and the turtle won the race. So I feel like this isn't necessarily about winning, but I do think it is about overcoming things that have really hurt your confidence a bit in terms of what you feel is possible to accomplish. And I also feel like this is a powerful time for you to see what is in your control and what isn't. And specifically, like, the meaning that you place in that as well. So, like, you know, if life is creating frustrating circumstances, you know, around something, it might not be that you're being punished. It might just be that human bureaucracy is dumb and flawed and is making your life difficult. Maybe you just need to go on a walk and take a deep breath. I don't know, but I feel like I've been, like, all over the place with this reading, so I apologize if it's been chaotic, but I do think that, like, you are going to kind of feel all over the place and a bit chaotic within the next 3 months, but I think that is what you need in order to feel free and in order to feel rooted and secure and solid. It's like the command center within you is getting a, like, people are being hired and fired, promoted and demoted, all within you. So I think it's really exciting. And I think that, you know, the biggest blessing is that you're moving towards a future that you truly want and that you're proud of, and in a healthier, balanced way that doesn't require burnout or self-sacrifice that's just unreasonable. So I'm going to go ahead and finish your reading off with a guidance card from this deck called the Sacred Earth Oracle. And we will just see what you need to know. So what do my group ones need to know as they move forward? What guidance do you have for group one when it comes to what's next in life for them? So, ooh, we have Revolution. Avoid comparison. It is neither too soon nor too late to claim your life for yourself. There is no right way to live your life. There is no wrong way. Isn't it interesting that, like, the right, like, rights and wrongs are here? So remember, it's not about what's right or wrong. It's about what's true. There is no wrong way or set pace to follow your path. Be wary of false markers. It is not always time to harvest. Without periods of rest, planning, planting, and nurture, there may be no harvest. Yeah, I mean, case in point, I planted my bell peppers a few months ago, and they're starting to get juicy, but they're still green. Like, everything has its time. And meanwhile, my cabbage, she's done for the season. Like invisible wheels, the seasons of life move through an internal cycle of death and rebirth. What appears to begin, rise, fall away, an end is but a small part in an endless journey without any clear start or climax. In the bright stillness of the divine mind, every journey flows through love. This is your journey, your time, your season. Shine. So I love that. Like, I really feel like I feel like you might, if you feel pressure, like I need to get things figured out, I need to know what I'm doing. No, you don't. I think what you do need to do is take a chill pill, and take a look at, where am I placing expectations upon myself that are getting in the way of my ability to see what to not only see, but connect to the present moment and see what offers and opportunities are there. The burnt tones of leaves, short snowy days, bright bursts of color, and long golden twilight marks the progress of Earth as it ellipses the sun. The seasons come and go, days shorten and grow long again. If you do not know the winter, how shall you know the spring? In some parts of the world, winter never comes. Earth's revolution is noted more subtly, perhaps more intimately. The traditional people of Northern Australia and the Tiwi Islands acknowledge as many as 13 seasons, where the European settlers only observe the wet and the dry. I've never heard of that. I mean, maybe they do, I don't know. The journey around the sun is the same for all of Earth, even for the North Pole, where a single night of winter lasts for 6 months. The progress is the same. The markers are different. In comparing your journey, your markers, your achievements to that of another, you might miss the signs that your season has come. Or you might miss the signs that the season you're in is the perfect one for you, and that you're doing great, and that all is happening in its own time. And yeah, I'm proud of you. You're gonna do just fine. So group 1, I keep wanting to call you group 3. So I don't know if there's anything in group 3, if you like want to check that out. You don't need to, but I kept wanting to call you that, but that could just be because like the name part of my brain I think is scrambled. So that could just be a me thing, but that is where I'm going to leave your guys this reading. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else, or thanks for getting YouTube Premium so you can watch me ad free. Obviously I don't expect you to watch the ads, like put them on mute, go like write something down on your phone, like do something else, and then come back, or just for the first 30 seconds. It was super helpful. But other ways to help me, like, comment, subscribe. My second channel's, I'm planting seeds over there. I gotta get on it, but, well, I mean, I already am on it, but, you know, it's just taking me a minute, because, like, guess who overthinks? Other ways to support, my extendeds are gonna be leaving, because Vimeo sucks. So if you want to support me or check out an extended for a reading, I think you have until like maybe September. But yeah, everything else will be linked down below. I love you guys so much. I really hope that this reading helped you, and I hope it wasn't too confusing. Comment a sun and a moon if you're still here and you watched all this. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. And I really hope that these next 3 months you put yourself first and do what you need. Because that will, yeah, I hope you do what's true, because I said so. Yeah, okay. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the green calcite Bulbasaur and the Forest Spirit Imprint Tarot, this is going to be your reading on what is next in life for you, and I kind of had the time frame in mind, like the next 3 months. So we're going to start by looking at the season of life you're headed into. So these are the overall energies that you can expect within the next 3 months. So to start, we have the Ace of Swords. We have Willow with Let It Go. We have creativity, creative expression, trust your vision. We have focus. And we have summer. Okay, I love to see this. I really do. It might be summer when you're watching this. It's summer when I'm filming it, but no matter what, you're definitely, these next 3 months are meant to be a bit of a summer for you, whether, no matter what season it is, literally. What I see here is this season you're entering is going to be a huge relief. And like when I see this Ace of Swords specifically, like I get the feeling of relief, or like the word relief has been coming up, which is interesting because the Ace of Swords isn't always pretty. Like, you know, they say truth hurts, but I feel like it's less that in the next 3 months you're getting truths that hurt, but rather you're getting clarity that heals, and clarity that just unburdens you in ways that make it easier for you to, number one, be in your imagination more often, and number two, follow through on creative inspiration you get, because you're questioning it less and you have more focus towards grounding it. The fact that we have focus here as well, I feel like this is a huge time of purging blockages within you that have harmed your creative output, but also harmed your ability to just be curious and explore. Like, I feel like there's a, there might even, like, I feel like it, I don't know, for some of you this is conscious and for others of you this is subconscious, but like certain ways of expressing yourself, or just the ability to create something without judging it, or even just the ability to like give time and energy to what you want to create, or time to just be in your imagination or just be playful. Like, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's not yours, that's been ingrained in you, that's made it hard for you to, number one, just be with your own creative process, because it seems like you might be too critical of yourself or too judgmental, or just like, it's like creative expression hasn't been able to flow through you because of blockages internally or fears around it. And really what I see here is a huge shift in terms of what is a productive use of, no, it's not productive, like a huge shift in terms of how you think and look at things. Because I feel like you're shifting from someone who is policing themselves to make sure you create in the right way, or you only create when you have allotted time to do so, or just creating at all because, you know, maybe for some of you, you're so critical of your ideas that they never have the chance to ground because there's just no, because you're quick to see what's wrong with them or quick to judge them. I see you. I get you. Real recognizes real. But I see you realizing that shit doesn't matter. And that, like, there are so many people that are creatively expressing themselves all the time. And the only difference between you and them is that they didn't stop to question themselves. I feel like a lot of internal questions are being released because you realize the answer is that it doesn't fucking matter. And it's none of anyone's fucking business. And who cares? Like, I think that this is a beautiful relief of realizing, like, I don't have to take life as seriously as I thought I did. And also, I can just give myself permission to create what excites me, to focus on what uplifts me. Like, you don't have to be pulled into emotional drama or spirals from other people. You don't have to be a receptacle for people's, like, for other people's emotions. Like, I feel like for some of you, there might even almost be like some resentment or anger at yourself for, like, knowing and being are two different things. And I think you've known for a long time that you should just create, or you should just like, oh, I need to be more creative, or I should like invest more time into this hobby or this like this, for those of you that have a creative career, like this part of my career, I know I should do this, but knowing isn't being, and it seems like you've been stuck at the being part, which, like, mood, no shame. But I think what you're gonna be realizing is that a lot of the answers have been simpler than you realized. And actually, I feel like why they're simpler than you realized is because it's a long time coming. Like, I feel like I mean, I don't really get astrology. I don't know what's going on in the sky. I know very little, but what I do know is that sometimes things that seem completely inaccessible to us at one point in life are easily accessible to us in another point in life. And sometimes you can look at the stars and see why, and the planets and see why, if you believe in astrology. Which, like, if you're here, like, if you believe in tarot and not a, well, nobody should believe in tarot. Like, tarot is cardstock and it works. But anyway, I feel like you might have the tendency to be like, because there's a level of ease here and joy that just comes from being able to, like, be in your own energy and create, and just without allowing self-criticism or allowing, like, doubt to get in the way of what you're doing. Like, it's still gonna be there, you're still gonna see it, but to just release it and be able to do things anyway. Not only is, like, the feeling of accomplishment going to be it's gonna feel like ecstasy, but on top of it, you might at the same time be like, if it was this easy all along, like, why did it take me so long to get here? And I feel like it might really frustrate you. And at the same time as well, you might also be thinking about the sources that created these blockages, or that the sources that made you believe certain things that, you know, weren't true. And I feel like there might be simultaneously bitterness and resentment, like, towards yourself around, like, why couldn't I just do this sooner? Which, my dude, you're missing the point, so don't do that. And also, like, why would this person do that to me? Or why would they say that to me? Like, that's crazy. Or, like, you know, like, when you're an adult and you look back at, like, things that adults said to you as a child, and you're just like, wow, that's so unhinged. I cannot believe, like, a grown person treated me this way. I think that instead of focusing on that stuff and, like, focusing on, you know, how long it took you to get to this point, or, you know, how messed up it is that, you know, you had these beliefs projected upon you, and you're just letting it go. Because I think you're realizing, like, I don't even really care what the answers are. I don't care why. I'm here now and it feels good, so let's keep going. Like, I also think as well, with this summer energy here, like, I feel like life is just going to be warmer, and you're going to be feeling lighter. And not only that, like, I think that there's a spiritual expansion happening. I mean, I really see it here with this beautiful lady's third eye, like, is quite bright. And look at the tree has a matching one. I feel like, and actually it's interesting too, it's in the summer card here as well. Like, there's stars. So stars might be a powerful sign for you, or a show or movie on the Stars channel, or Stars, who subscribes for Stars? I don't know. Clearly a select group, but it's something on the Stars channel, if you have that channel or have access. Like, I don't even know who they go through for streaming, but stars are very powerful for you guys. And I also think as well, the clarity that you're getting and the relief that it's bringing is helping you let go of bigger questions that have maybe held you back, or bigger and, like, a lot of those questions are like what ifs. So, like, you know, it's less so like an answer that you're afraid of, but rather, like, what if this scenario happened? What if that scenario happened? Like, fearful ones. I think you're realizing, oh, what if this happens? I don't know, or I'll cross that bridge when I get there, or, you know, I'll make sure that I have these things in place. Like true fears, I feel like you're getting preparedness for, or realizing, like, that what if is not enough to get in the way of what I want to do or where I want to be. And I just feel like your vision is getting stronger and clearer. I feel like your connection to the divine and the connection to, like, the world around you is getting a lot stronger. And it's not because it was ever weak to begin with, but rather is because, like, it's almost like you just couldn't let the light in as much as you wanted to, because, like, your focus was on more egoic things, like I'm not good enough, or this is bad because it comes from me. Like, and let's be clear, like everybody has ego, and like it's not like the ego doesn't need to be eliminated, it just needs to be refined and balanced. And I think that in a way that you are integrating healthy ego is recognizing that you have the right and are entitled to creating, because that is literally, like, every single human being is a creator being. Like, we have a culture that encourages consumption, but that is not our natural state. That's why that's why it's so easy to be deeply, well, one of the many reasons why it's easy to be so deeply unwell. And I feel like there's just a beautiful, powerful surge of creativity that's going to be coming through you in the next few months. And I also feel like as well, your connection to your inner self is getting a lot stronger. And I also feel like as well, you know, if you got pulled into distractions in the past that took you from your creative energy or that drained your creative energy, I feel like what you're going to be finding as well is that you're not even drawn to these distractions the way you used to be, because the temporary relief that those distractions gave you are nothing compared to the actual fulfillment and satisfaction that comes from just seeing through the visions you have and getting something imperfect out there. I think I have some lessons to learn from you as well, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is real, I'm acceptable energies, and anything convincing me that I'm not is what is unacceptable. I also feel like there's just like a lot of warmth. So I wouldn't be shocked if there's some chaotic stuff that happens during this time period that's like, it's not scary or bad, but just like chaotic. It's kind of like storm energy that gives you like powerful clarity or realizations that are just like profound and expand your mind in ways where you're like, whoa, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like literally like your consciousness is expanding. And I think that there are truths that have always been true to you, but that you've held close to the chest because, you know, the world around you might argue with those, or might look down on you for having them, or might think that you are gullible or naive for having them. And now you're realizing like, oh, I don't need it doesn't matter what those people think of my opinions, and they don't even need to know, and I don't even need to tell them. Like, I think you're just realizing like, this is about my connection to me and the universe. It actually makes me think, there is this and this is from years ago. Shout out to this person wherever they are. But they said to me, like, it shouldn't be about what we, meaning you guys, want. It should be between like you and the divine, like you and your guides. And they were right, and it was really great advice, and I really appreciate the comment. I appreciate that person, and I appreciate you for being here. And I think for you, it really is like you're cutting out a middleman that's very unhelpful. It's like you've had a translator that if you've ever seen the Goonies, one of the characters' mouth, he translates in Spanish instructions to a woman who only speaks Spanish that's helping out at one of the characters' houses, and, you know, just completely, you know, doesn't translate anything accurately that, you know, the other woman's trying to say. He's just, you know, full of mischief. Hopefully you know what scene I'm talking about, but if you have never seen the Goonies, that is essential viewing, and I'm gonna need you, like, as soon as you get, like, talk about number one, I think it's a creatively inspiring movie, and number two, just one of the best, just one of my faves. You need to see that movie if you haven't. Anyway, though, the mediating thing that I was getting to is almost like there's been a middleman, and that middleman has kind of like been ego and has been trying to protect you, but it's gotten in the way of your spirit and your truth like really connecting and being able to be embodied. So there's a beautiful reckoning happening here where you're stepping into your power, you're stepping into your creative energies, you are being nourished. This is a time of greater abundance, and this is abundance of all kinds, like abundance of energy, abundance of ideas, abundance of opportunities. Finances could fall into that. Like, there's just so much love and so much like wisdom and spirit, life and light that is coming to you. You are going to be feeling embraced by the universe in ways that I don't think you knew were possible. And it's really because you just opened up your arms and let it in. So I think this is a very powerful time for you. Like, you're gonna be having divine realizations and very powerful creative, spiritual, and personal growth spurts that lead to just more fulfillment and greater self-trust and an easier ability to ground your visions into the world. So we're gonna go deeper now and look at the specifics, but I'm just really excited for you guys. Like, I'm so excited for you guys. This is beautiful stuff here. While I'm shuffling, if you're enjoying this and want to leave me a little like sticky, I would really appreciate that. If you're not subscribed yet, why not? You should be. Just thank you to everyone who supports me and just takes the time to just be here and watch. I'm very grateful for you guys. And yeah, by the way, extendeds are gonna be unavailable after like September of this year, because Vimeo's lame, but we knew that. So if you wanted to see an extended, or you know there's one you've been wanting to look out for, you may want to get on that. And that's another way to support me, so thank you for doing that. But honestly, thank God, I'm ready to get more creative. I don't know, but I didn't realize how many of you guys, like, I'm getting distracted. This is not a conversation for right now. Look at your focus energy helping me already. I love that. Okay, so what new growth or new things are coming into Group 1's world these next few months? Okay. What is blooming, flourishing, or just, you know, growing in very positive, easy ways in the next 3 months, right? What quiet changes are taking root beneath the surface in the next 3 months? And what blessings will Group 2 be harvesting at the end of this season? Okay. Now let me shuffle your tarot. I'm obsessed with the holographicness on this deck. It just makes me really happy. I also really love the artwork too. Yeah. You guys will know I'm vibing with the deck if it shows up in a lot of readings all at once, all of a sudden. But same question. What new growth or new things are entering Group 2's life in the next 3 months? What is blooming, growing in positive, healthy ways? What is blooming these next 3 months? What quiet changes are happening underneath the surface these next 3 months? And what blessings will be harvested at the end of this season? Okay. I didn't even look at the back of the deck for the last group, but I felt called to, and you guys have this sun, so just know like things are getting lighter and brighter from here, no matter what the cards say. So even though they're saying like they're gonna get lighter and brighter, but you know. Okay, so looking at new things coming into your world, we have we have the Magician and we have Rise. So this is a reiteration of creative energy. The Magician is like honestly that bitch, in the best way. The Magician uses everything at their disposal, including divine spark and personal will, to make their visions happen and ground into reality the divine inspiration they receive. So this is very much like new ideas may be coming to you, the resources you need to make new ideas possible, the energy or the confidence to just start acting on certain ideas. All of that is what's coming in. And the fact that we have rise here, it's just like, I feel like things that you've been wanting to get to, things that you've been envisioning for quite a long time, or you know, things you've been saying that you're gonna do but never really get to, you're actually doing them. Like, I think the biggest new thing happening for you is I feel like you're shifting from feeling like you have to react to life, or just like life is happening to you, and you're shifting into this experience where how do I describe it? Like, it's not that life is happening for you or anything like that. You are an active participant in your life. And I think you're honestly just not even focused on what life's doing. You're like, this is what I'm about. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm showing up as, like, your move life. Like, and I don't even think you're focused on life's moves. Like, I think if anything, you're just starting to trust yourself more. You know, the Magician is also too, Virgo and Gemini energies. It's like communication energies. And so I really think, like, you're going to be having new ideas. You're going to be grounding ideas. You're going to be taking action in ways that feel effortless, or just creation, or just like expressing yourself in ways that you've wanted to in the past but felt stifled in. The hesitation or resistance that you've felt is not there anymore. And instead, there's more of an instinctual, like, letting the wind carry you, and like you're flying. Like, I feel like you're going to be taking action without thinking. And things that maybe felt like they took forever, or just things that felt impossible for you to do or to even visualize happening, it's like all of a sudden you're just doing it, and you're just making it happen in ways where you're like, honestly, like, feeling euphoric. I feel like you're quite literally, another thing that's new is that your vibration is rising. Oh, your vibration is rising. But it's not because, like, and it's literally just because you are tapping into your own energy more. And tapping into what uplifts you, what brings you joy, what excites you, what you feel passionate about, and like, you're actually taking action on it. Also, a bit of a side note, but I do think your posture is going to be improving in the next 3 months. So, hell yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I really just think in general, this is a level of creative energy, creative confidence, and effortless action that proves to your fearful mind that you've always been enough. You don't need to have everything figured out, and that, like, there's so much more within you than you realize. Because one thing I think is going to be happening as well is there's going to be new ways you access your own inner intelligence and your own imagination and your ideas that you weren't able to access before because your focus was elsewhere. And so it's almost like this, because your focus is narrowing in on what's important, what's lighting you up, like what's exciting you, certain mental processes that have had their time and that are, you know, that haven't been helpful or conducive to this new area of growth, like that sort of leaving and dissipating is making space for just, number one, like, I feel like new neural pathways to be carved, or like new habits to be formed and built that are really supportive. And you know what we love about this being like 3 months, like 21 days isn't even a full month. Like, they say it takes 21 days to form a new habit, and I don't even think you're going to be tracking and doing that. Like, the changes you make are going to be grounded and realistic and supportive and positive for what you're doing. And there's a divine spark underneath what you take action towards, that just makes you excited to keep going and keeps a positive momentum. Because the results, and honestly, like the joy of the process and the results afterwards, not only bring you a lot of clarity, a lot of new awareness, but also just like, wow, it's really fun to be a creative person and like, you know, be free. Like, I just think you're stepping into yourself in a really beautiful way. And I think that this next phase of life is almost like you're stepping into and embracing the potential you've always had, and seeing things far more clearly than you used to, because you just didn't have this perspective before. So let's see. Also, let me make sure this is, oh cool, I can move these down a little bit. Let's see what is blooming and flourishing in these next 3 months. So beautiful. We have the King of Swords and we have Held. So I love that. So like I said, like with life embracing you back, like I think that you are going to be feeling just the care and love that others have for you and that the universe has for you so much. Whenever you follow your intuition in the next 3 months, like when you feel called to do something, especially if it's asking you to go outside of your comfort zone, like try a new class or, you know, be seen in a space that you haven't before. I think what you're going to find is you are going to be embraced so much more than you could have expected. And I think it's going to be kind of humbling, because the way that others embrace you is going to show you that you might have been keeping life out in ways that were really unfair to you. Like you might have just pushed away, like without even realizing it, like support, affection, care, connection, because either you felt like you didn't deserve it, or maybe you didn't even know it was there because like you weren't seeing clearly. This wasn't what you were focused on. But another beautiful thing that I see here with this King of Swords is a very clear, rational frame of mind that is encouraging the beneficial growth that you're having, whilst also cutting out any internal ideas of self-sabotage, any internal blockages, and also cutting off external blockages or external sources of strife or like just toxicity or just anything that isn't like you're gonna be so unapologetic about like what is here. Like you're gonna be quite unapologetic about like your time and your energy and what you're doing. And I also think as well, when you do get like emotionally caught up in a way where, you know, you're afraid to do something, or you feel yourself holding back, or you start to doubt yourself, I feel like this internal King of Swords of yours will be like, okay, so based on what we've literally experienced and what we've realized, we know it's going to be okay, and we know this is true. Like I feel like you will be able to counteract your fearful thoughts with facts and logic around like, we've literally seen the results of this action in the past, and like it is a beneficial one, or just whatever you need to hear in order to have more conviction and confidence in yourself. Like that is definitely helping. And I think in general, just your mindset is being refined, pruned, if you will, in ways that keep growing what is working and uprooting and clearing out what's holding you back. There's another message here that if you are in a situation with a King of Swords person, like they could have air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or they could just be someone that's a very calculating, rational person. You know, someone, like, especially in terms of emotional expression, that might not really be their thing or their jam. I could see here as well, like, you'll know if this message is for you or not, but for some of you, the connection between the two of you, or the dynamic or whatever is going on between the two of you, like, that could be blooming or getting closer, or there could be more closeness between you and this person. Or if you've had challenges with the King of Swords person, it seems like the situation is like, whatever it, like, I've got to separate this. I've got to sift this more. So if this is a King of Swords person that that you're having challenges with, I see here that whether, like, the challenges are ones that you're meant to overcome and create more closeness, or these challenges are here to show you what you need to see in order to just keep moving forward. Whatever is needed in this situation is blooming, and I see here that you're being supported, whether it's you supporting each other, whether it's you two getting closer, or, you know, your own consciousness and those that do support you, those that you know, you can lean on, are supporting you in ways that help reinforce the beautiful things that you're realizing about yourself, reinforce the beautiful boundaries that you are, you know, just making stronger, and reinforce, like, just the ideas that you needed to see from this situation, or reinforce, like, hope and understanding that, you know, whatever is happening here, it can be resolved, or, like, there can be a positive outcome. That is blooming. So, you know, if you don't know what the answer is for these circumstances, or you don't know what is meant to happen, it just seems like whatever is meant to happen, whatever is needed, or whatever you need from this situation, like, you are being supported. So I love to see that. But let's go ahead and see what... I had to be cute with this reading, and now I can't remember my questions. What quiet changes are taking root beneath the surface? So for that, we have the Death card, and we have Father. So I'm definitely going to look that up, but I really think, okay, first of all, I am not taking this or interpreting this as, like, the death of a father. So that's not an acceptable or valid interpretation, at least on my end. If for those of you, you get an interpretation like that, I mean, I don't even want to, Death card is not talking about literal death. I mean, it can signal that, but that's not, these are quiet changes happening underneath the surface. That's a pretty loud change. That's not a valid interpretation. Moving forward, at least in this reading, coming from me. There's a very, very, very powerful transformation that you're already in the process of, but it's almost like, you know how I'm, like, thinking of, like those like Temperance, you know, there's the two cups and they're going back and forth, they're being mixed, or you know, a pendulum, like, swinging from extremes before it loses momentum. So I feel like beyond these next 3 months, some of the old blockages or old fears or old insecurities, or just parts of the old self that are not meant to linger, they might resurface, and that might either be because of, you know, external things bringing them to your awareness, or they just start surfacing and you don't know why. What I see here is that period of time is really just ensuring what is meant to leave and what is meant to, you know, truly exit your life forever does. I want to look at this Father card, but one thing I do think here is there could be, like, father wounds, or wounds around, like, number one, for example, if you are a man or identify as a man, like, you could find that, like, maybe the things that you're being called to do and express and explore fall outside of what you were taught or what you think is masculinity, which, like, just spoiler alert, if you're a man and you're doing something, it's masculine. I digress. There could be certain wounds or beliefs that you have around, like, how you should show up in the world, how you should be, you know, what your output should be, what your work ethic should be, like what your responsibilities are. And I think that they're probably ideas that aren't helpful. And I think that what's happening underneath the surface is a release of maybe some deeper, more entrenched habits, subconscious, you know, beliefs that have been part of what's holding you back. I feel like they're being purged through this process, but you're not going to be as aware of them because there's just so much, like, light and excitement, and your focus is not going to be on what's leaving and what's dying or what's not serving you, because your focus is going to be on the life that is happening within you and in front of you, the excitement that comes from, oh my gosh, I just, like, new feet unlocked. Like, I think that's, like, there's going to be a lot of really powerful like, what's happening on the surface and internally is so powerful that what is leaving and what is being shed, I think you're going to be less aware of. And once again, as I was saying with that pendulum swing, you might have felt really fearful about that, like, oh no, it's back to the same old thing. No, it's going to be very different. It's like you're returning to places of, like, blockage or frustration that you are familiar with, but you're returning with new wisdom and new understanding of yourself and what you're capable of and what you know to be true. And that is going to allow you to deal with these things when they arise in ways that are so much easier and so much less impactful than they once were. And it's part of the equilibrium and, like, purging. It's really only there to help you purge and also to help you see, like, how much less powerful those things are, and you have yourself to thank. But I do want to see what Father says in case there's some other meanings. Yeah, your masculine energy, security found in hard work, a cautious and strong leader, assertive communicator with gentleness. So also, like, if you have discomfort, like if you have a lot of discomfort with power or with standing in your power, or discomfort with authority in your own authority, I feel like, especially if a father figure or, you know, authoritative energies that have been, you know, maybe dictating how you live your life or what's acceptable of you and what isn't, I feel like they are losing their grip on you. And I also think as well, you're changing your understanding of what is acceptable work. Like, I do think there's also, you are learning how to work smart, not hard. And I love to see that. And also realizing as well, I think one thing that's changing as well is you realizing, like, I don't think that releasing the need to prove yourself or prove something about yourself by working hard. It's like you don't need to sacrifice yourself on the altar of evidence or excellence in order to be acceptable. You are acceptable. And I think you might be recontextualizing certain wounds, like in your family and father wounds especially, and seeing, you know, where you took on the pattern, like what beliefs it cultivated within you. But also, like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of levity around, like, you might have clarity and understanding of why those things are there, and understanding of, you know, why people in your family operate that way, or why this pattern has been here. And rather than, like, needing to fight it or feel frustrated, I just feel like there's a release and an understanding of, you know, we all have to work through this. I'm working through this on my own, and I'm going to use my own authority to do what's right for me. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of peace with that. So now let's look at what blessings you will be harvesting at the end of this season. So we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, this is a release of small-mindedness, you know, small-mindedness outside of you that can convince you to hold back, and small-mindedness within you that says don't do something, or don't push, or don't. You are releasing a lot of unnecessary fears, worries, what ifs that stopped you from creating, and honestly that just kind of drained your life force. Like I said already, probably, if I didn't, I am now, like, your focus is going to be so much stronger, and more, and points of view and opinions, comments, critiques that are coming from an immature or intellectually underdeveloped place, it's not going to weigh on your psyche the way it once did, because it's just like, okay, like, it's just gonna be noise. It's just gonna be like nothing more than a fly like buzzing, and you just recenter your focus. So I really do feel like as well, a lot of internal like immaturity that you've held on to, like, out of, and here's the thing, like, I don't think you're an immature person, but you might have had some subconscious beliefs that are immature because you learned very early on in life, you know, this is what I need to believe in order to stay safe. But now you know that's not the truth. And so I feel like you're really releasing, the fact that we have the King of Swords here as well, it just makes me feel like you're releasing a lot of inner child, and a lot of childhood wounding, period. But also, like, I think that you're being freed from ways in which you have thought about the world, ways in which you've analyzed yourself, assessed yourself, done strategy, made decisions, you know, things you've listened to, things you've taken into account that maybe weren't necessary. It's like there's a huge purging and release of what doesn't work, what is unnecessary, what isn't true, and a massive, like relief and weight lifted from that. I think as well, the patterns and habits that have gripped you so tightly, all of a sudden it's just like, who's that person? What did they think? I can't believe that used to be me. Like, I feel like there's just a real ease in letting go, and I really love to see that. So we're gonna go ahead and finish your reading off with a guidance card from the Sacred Earth Oracle. So for my group twos, what do my group twos, what guidance do they need to hear as they move forward into this 3-month period? Beautiful. We have unity. See your worth and the value of others, a refusal to accept less than equal footing in a partnership. An assumption, bias, or other barrier could hinder a fair outcome. Strive for reciprocity. There is a solution that benefits all parties. Connecting through differences. Empowerment is a better strategy than seeking power. Act now for the long-term benefit of your loved ones. Peace is not somewhere in the future. It is here. You don't need to search for it. Trust, let go, be present, and it will find you. The present is the point from which life flows. All is born, will die, and be reborn into this one moment. All is present in the now. You are, we are, all is equal. According to the Big Bang Theory, all existing matter and energy appeared and exploded from a single point about 15 billion years ago. Gravity worked its magic to pull simple elements together to form giant stars. These exploded into birth galaxies. In one of those galaxies, a cloud of dust and debris fell into orbit around a dwarf star. Dust became rocks, which became asteroids. The larger the object, the larger its gravitational pull. And when the dust finally settled, it had formed the planets of our solar system. One of those planets, through the swelling and heaving of natural forces, life began. Consciousness arose. You came to be here. And there is still the same amount of energy and matter in the universe as there was in that first moment when all was one. So yeah, I feel like this is really coming into union with yourself and coming home to yourself in really powerful ways that also bring you peace around the fact of the fallibility of human nature and your inability to control how people think and what they choose to do. And also realize like you don't need to feel responsible for it and you don't need to stress about it because it's just not your job. Like, I definitely think a greater harmonious play, like you are definitely entering a much more harmonious stage of your life. And I think like just accessing a lot of peace from understanding, like seeing things from a perspective that allows you to accept what you can't control and accept the things that are frustrating and reshift your focus to what you can do. Like, I feel like in you doing this, in you embracing yourself and embracing this time, like you are doing humanity a favor. It's not just for you. It's not selfish. It's actually selfish to avoid embracing all of you because humanity needs all the wonderful things you have to share. So I'm excited for you, group 2. And as I say that, as I burp, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. So thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. And thank you so much for supporting me, whether it's liking the video, letting the ads play for the first 30 seconds. At least you don't have to watch them or listen to them, but it is really helpful. So thank you to those who do that. Other ways to support me, you can like, comment, subscribe, sign up for my email list. Links down below for that. Second channel stuff should be coming. I'll get there. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I love you guys so much, and I really hope this reading helped. Leave a little globe or the plan emoji that looks like this if you're at this point. But that is all I have. I love you guys so much, and I really hope this reading helped, and I just wish you the best on your journey, and I just hope you enjoy every moment of it. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Amethyst Rose and the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, excellent choice. This is going to be your reading on what is next in life. And this is timeless. It's based on when you find it, not when it was uploaded. And time frame that I was thinking in terms of what's next is like the next 3 months. So to start with what season you're entering or the overall energies of the next 3 months, we have the Hermit. We have Oak, do the right thing. We have Energy Rising, Vitality, Confidence, Decisiveness. We have Mineral Realm. And we have Love. I actually want to switch these because that just feels more right. Okay, I really love this. And there's a lot of different ways in which this can manifest for you guys. So take what resonates here. But for all of you, this is really powerful. You're stepping into divine masculine energy if you haven't stepped into it already. I do feel like everybody here is already stepping into it. And divine masculine energy doesn't mean that like energy and gender are two different things. So really, I mean like yang energy or like whatever. You guys get it. Those of you that are here get it. You can look up yin and yang energy. You're in yang energy, okay? Or you're about to step into it. And in the positive, empowering aspects of it. It's in a divine context, not a distorted context, where you are taking powerful, decisive action. The energy towards what you want to build or what you are building is growing. The order and structure of your life is flowing really well. It's like you have a good rhythm, a good routine, but on top of that, there is a lot of adaptability and potentially resources at your disposal that allow you to shift or change pathways, decisions, opportunities at a moment's notice. Like, I see that there's a lot of flexibility in these next 3 months in terms of either what you want to do or how you want to do things. Like, your decision-making abilities are on point, and your connection to yourself and to your own inner wisdom is the primary driving force for all of the positive decisions you're making, for the clarity and trust you have in yourself during this time. And also, it seems to be keeping you sane. I don't know what's going on in your life and in your world, but I do think that these next 3 months are going to be a period of time where you have the opportunity to be on your own more and go within more. Now, the fact that we have love here, love and romance obviously aren't the same thing, but for some of you, let's say you're in a new relationship, or you're a relationship, like a serious relationship in your life, is like a huge point of focus. I definitely think that if you are at a place in your relationship where, you know, you're trying to revamp things or spend more quality time together, and do right by the other, I definitely see that happening. For those of you that are in another scenario of how this works, though, could be that even if you are in a relationship, like, there might be just more time apart, whether that is in your control or not. But I would see you being at peace with this. Like, maybe you even instigate the time apart, because, like, I see you in a more solitary energy that's very independent and healthy. It's not avoidant, but it is like, I need to like drown, like I need to get away from the noise so I can hear myself, sort of thing. But for those of you that are single, or that have like recognized, like, I need to focus on myself, I need to like put romance on the back burner, even if you have the desire for that, you are going to see why you were right to listen to that instinct. And actually, I think these next 3 months are a big, like, you are going to see why you were right to trust your instincts and listen to yourself, because you seem to have your finger on the pulse of what is best for you, and like, you really don't need to question it. I think if anything, the only time where you might be uncertain is when, you know, there's a choice you have to make or a move you have to make that you don't know what the answer is. And when that happens, that powerful self-connection is going to allow you to go within and make the best decision for yourself when the time is right. Not only that, though, the time that you are spending with yourself is creating, it's not creating, actually, it's just revealing how love is all around you in ways that you might have missed, or ways that you might have forgotten, when you've just been dealing with the noise and the hustle and bustle and craziness of life. I definitely think that these next 3 months are a period of time for you where you're putting yourself first in the best of ways. Your systems and structures are working for you. You've got flexibility and freedom to change things up and change your mind. And you're also seeing the consequences of your good choices, in the sense that, I guess they're not consequences, like, they're effects. You get to see the effects or the results of the choices that you make. And there's going to be a lot of like, wow, I'm so glad I made that decision, or wow, I'm so glad I put myself first, or you are pouring into yourself, and life is also pouring into you. The answers are becoming clear, if they're not already, or the accessibility to clarity is very easy for you during this time. I don't see, like, with the last two groups, I feel like there was a lot more self-doubt and uncertainty and like transition. Whereas with this group, I feel like there's a solid foundation here, and you're just building upon that, and also taking time to go within and nourish that inner connection when you do feel disconnected from it. But also, one thing that's really interesting is this card and this card both talk about the summer and winter solstices. I don't know if there's any significance to that, but I do have a side note question and also a recommendation. If you can go to Stonehenge for the summer solstice, do it. It is one of the coolest things I've ever done. It was so much fun. And yeah, it's freaking cool. If you can go to Stonehenge for the summer solstice, you should freaking do it. But if you have been to, this is a side note, so I apologize, but I do need to ask, if anyone has ever been to Stonehenge at night, have you ever seen weird lights in the sky? Especially if it was the summer solstice at night, because I swear when I was there, I saw some really weird stuff in the sky, and I got the flight radar app on my phone. I didn't at that time, but you know, like I'll be the first one to be like, that's a plane, like. But there was some movement of lights in the sky that and I just felt like, you know, if there were visitors, I think it would make sense. So I'm like, have you ever seen anything in the sky at Stonehenge? If so, let me know. But I do think there's just like beautiful celebratory energy here, where momentum is building for what you're already working towards. And it's not occupying so much of your time and energy that you're being taken away from yourself, or that you're being burnt out, or, you know, just having to be on autopilot. Like, these next 3 months, you're going to be deeply in tune and connected to your inner world. And that is going to benefit you greatly if it's not already benefiting you already, because you're going to be very sure of yourself and at peace with what you choose to do when you're not sure of yourself. And then on top of it, there's just going to be this nourishing awareness of loving presence, gratitude, and just the essence of divinity. Like, you're going to feel it in you, and you're going to see it around you, like in signs and synchronicities and confirmation and just serendipitous moments that just show you like love is everywhere. I also think that for some of you, like, this could be a very powerful time where, like, if you haven't had quality time with a partner or someone like that, like, I could see this time being adaptable enough to allow like reconnection there. But at the same time, for a lot of you, like those of you that are single especially, I think that this is a powerful period where if you're trying to bring love into your life, if that's something that you want, life is showing you where you already have access to it, where you might already be missing out on it, and where you might be, where your needs can already be met, that, like, you know, you've been projecting those needs onto desires. And also, and what I mean by that is really like you're being nourished and fulfilled in ways that you maybe felt like that feeling was only accessible in a romantic relationship. And this isn't a like, oh, I don't need anyone, like I can just be by myself forever, like, because I love myself that much. Like, I just think you're seeing what self-love looks like, and also seeing that, like I said, just like where you can meet needs that have been stuck in the desire for them to be met by a partner. And then also seeing what needs can't be met just on your own. Like what does need to be, like, you know, a requirement, or, you know, a non-negotiable for any romantic, I don't know why I just heard contracts, but that's not very romantic. Any romantic opportunities you may have. Like, I see you being content with where you're at. Like, if right now, if you're single and you're like, I hate being single, catch me in 3 months. Like, come back in 3 months and tell me how you feel. The only way you'll feel the same way is if you neglect yourself and don't go within. And I don't think you're going to do that, because what I see here as well is just whatever goals you've had, there's a building of energy there. Like, I also feel like whatever external noise and chaos has maybe been draining you, this time and self-connection and this just kind of time out from the world that you're taking, whether it's like small bits throughout the day or whether it's like going deep within and like, you know, kind of whatever kind of hermit energy works for you or is what is called for. It's allowing more intentional focus towards what you are building and what you are moving towards. You might also do some like solo traveling in these next 3 months, or start making plans for things that you want to do, or, you know, dreams that you've had, like things that you've always said you'd get to. I feel like you're starting to act on like, okay, now is the time. Like, if I want to do this, like I need to start making those plans and getting arrangements in order. Like, I see you having what you need to make things possible. Maybe not in the ways you envision them or would ideally like them, but there's an awareness of like, okay, now is the time. I need to stop putting this off, like especially things that are just important to you. Like, I want to travel to see Stonehenge, or I want to, you know, learn to play the fiddle, like whatever it is. I just see you dedicating more time and resources and energy towards new pursuits or things that you just wanted to do, wanted to experience. And I also see here like love happening for you, and by love I really mean like the divine, like God, like this universal source. I think what you're going to be seeing is like how effortlessly things can flow when you trust the actions that you take and when you listen to the inner nudges the universe has for you, your gut has for you. Because I feel like love or source or the universe, whatever, however you see it, is going to be planting new ideas, and they might come in the form of advertisements or so you better be letting that play in the background if you don't have YouTube Premium. Might miss out on a message. If nothing, if not opportunistic. Like, I feel like life has plans for you that already fit into what you're building, but that just could make your experience even more rich. I don't know why. It's like made me think of like, if you've ever put salt on watermelon, it's really good. But like, I've never thought to put salt on watermelon. I had to be recommended that. And it's almost like you've got the watermelon or something, and Spirit's showing you like, hey, you should put some salt on it, like enhance it. So I feel like there's opportunities that are going to be coming to you in these next 3 months that just enhance the life you're already building. And it's almost like, it's like you pick the cheese, Spirit picks the wine. Like the opportunities and the opportunities that will arise that excite you, they just seem to complement your life and enhance what's already here. And I think it will like strengthen your trust in your ability to listen to your own inner guidance and your intuition, and also your trust in, you know, the universal currents that are guiding you that are maybe not that aren't necessarily in your control, but that are working in like for your highest good. And the fact that like what's working for your highest good and what you're doing for yourself are not incompatible, but rather they're very compatible. And it's like the momentum is just, it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger as you honor intuitive action and listen to intuitive nudges. Like, you're just gonna, like, things are gonna be coming up group 3, and I just really love to see that. And I think for all of you, there's a level of stability here where you're kind of unshakable in these next 3 months, and the noise and chaos of the world cannot touch the beautiful things you're growing, the beautiful things you're creating, the beautiful things you're dreaming, and whatever else your focus is on in these next 3 months. But I definitely think, like, if you have any big plans, for example, like traveling or something like that, like, there might be the opportunity to extend that or add on to it in some way, or there might be opportunity for you to like there might be opportunities to take advantage of situations that you're already embarking on and just make them even better. And I think that the beautiful thing behind all of this is you're building confidence in yourself. You're just feeling more excited to wake up every day. Like, oh boy, I can't wait to see like the results of my actions, like, because you know that you're doing right by yourself, and like, what feels better than that? Like, so I definitely think whether this is a more solitary time or whether it's just a time where you have a greater opportunity to foster self-connection, you're doing right by yourself. You're seeing the positive results of your actions. There's spontaneity and opportunity to enhance your life even more than what's already there. It's going to be easy to trust yourself, and when you don't trust yourself and choose to anyway, or are uncertain of yourself, you're either going to be able to listen to what the right thing to do is by going within, or you're going to do what you think your gut is telling you, and the answers will usually reveal themselves and you'll build more confidence that way. And behind all of it, you're just going to be seeing how love is working in your favor in ways that maybe your conscious mind or your ego isn't always able to see, especially for those of you that have been really focused on like romance or romantic relationships. I really think that this could be a positive time for you guys, especially where you're seeing the value of the self-love messaging, and not from a place of I'm loving myself because I need to in order to find someone, but rather like looking for someone and desiring this isn't making me a better person. It isn't making me more fulfilled. I want to make my life richer. I want to make my life like, I don't have to wait for these desires to materialize through another person. I can start making that happen now. And it will help give you more clarity on what you do want and what you don't want. And for those of you in partnerships, I think there's powerful opportunities for you to make the best decisions for yourself and your partner. Powerful opportunities to spend alone time together, and powerful opportunities to balance the direction of the connection or the relationship with, you know, earthly logistics and like your own desires and your own visions. Like, I definitely think that if you're in a relationship that's been kind of shaky, I think that, you know, if it's so shaky that it's not meant to last, you're gonna know what to do, and it's gonna feel really loving to choose yourself and move forward. Or if it's shaky, but that's just part of building the foundation, like this is something that you and them are committed to, I see that there's growing confidence in each other, in the relationship, and greater like trust and certainty in what you're building. And yeah, I also see as well, like, there is flexibility with your with financial things, material resources, and like your schedule in the next few months. So take advantage of that in the ways that work for you, and give yourself that permission. Like, definitely the next 3 months for you should really be carpe diem. You should be carpe in them DMs and season the day, because every time you do, more of like you're just only adding more goodness into the world. Like, I'm so proud of you guys. Like, I literally I didn't birth you, but I do feel like a proud mother. Like, Oh, look at my fantastic group threes, like putting themselves first and being so empowered and doing what's best for them. Like, I just love to see it. Like, it's true self-love in action. But I am gonna shuffle your oracles and then your tarot. So we are gonna be looking at first what is beginning to grow, or what new things are entering group three's world in these next 3 months. Ooh, you got 2 cards for that. What is blooming / flourishing in group three's life in the next 3 months? I'm really excited to see these specifically because how this applies for each of your lives, I feel like, is different depending on the context. So I wonder if these cards will be more specific about like certain areas. What quiet changes are taking root underneath the surface that you actually probably will be aware of them, but what quiet changes are taking root underneath the surface during this time, but you might actually be aware of them because you are achieving that inner quiet and inner balance. And then finally, what blessings will group 3 be harvesting at the end of this season? Yay. Okay, and I do just want to say, I didn't look at the back of the deck for the other 2 groups, but the fact that we're ending with the Lovers on the back of the deck, like, love is definitely behind the next 3 months, no matter what it looks like. And I really love to see it. So now I will shuffle your tarot. And also just a big thank you to everyone who is taking the time to leave a like if you enjoy this, or subscribe if you haven't, or sign up for my email list, or let the ads play while you do something else, or leave me a tip if you got ad blocker on. Just thank you for giving back to me. Like, thank you. I'm very grateful to be able to give to you and for being here. And I know this spiel might get old or kind of annoying, but you know, I am very grateful that you guys are so generous with me, and yeah, like, you know, you have to use money to support me. Even a little like goes a long way. But yeah, comment down below and let me know, like, do you have any exciting plans, or do you have any like, what decisions have you made or are you planning on making that you're like really proud of? Like, I would love to celebrate that. So what new growth or newness is entering group 3's world in the next 3 months? What is blooming or flourishing, or just, you know, succeeding without much effort? What quiet changes are happening underneath the surface in the next 3 months? And what blessings will group 3 be able to harvest at the end of this season? Thank you. Ooh, and the 6 of Cups on the back of the deck. So yeah, I definitely think like there's beautiful reconnection energy and just a lot of sweetness. Like, and the cool thing is I do feel like this sweetness is stemming from like all the good decisions that you're making, because you're reinforcing boundaries, and also I feel like you're being strict with yourself in ways where you're not letting harmful or deceptive energies or thoughts like take root in you in ways that maybe you did in the past. So let's see what new things, energies, experiences, seeds are coming in. So ooh, we have the Knight of Wands. So yeah, travel to a new place. Ooh, we got good fortune. And we have manifestation. So, okay. Yeah, this is your sign to take the trip that you have been uncertain of taking. Okay, we're gonna fix this. First of all, I feel like you've never been withheld from good fortune, but I do think that you have not given yourself permission to act on your good fortune all the time, because maybe you felt like obligated to give back because of how you've been fortunate. But also I think some of the good fortune that you're getting is just a natural result of the good choices you're making. And I also think with manifestation here, I think one thing that's new is the momentum you feel behind the plans you're making and the dreams you're acting on or building. I definitely think new ideas, new desires are coming through, but I also think as well, like, there's just more adventure in your life, and it's not adventure in ways that are if you've ever seen the Magic School Bus deep cut, I love them. I hope you've seen the Magic School Bus. Like, that should be a canon event in every child's life. I'm thinking of the character Arnold, you know, and he never wants to go be on that Magic School Bus. He is stressed out. And he always says, I knew I should have stayed home today. And I think what's new for you is, like, I feel like you're going to be like, I knew I should have made that decision, and I'm so glad I did. Like, you're going to have so much conviction and effort and excitement towards where life is calling you and where your own vision is inspiring you. I feel like there's just a lot of fertility around there's a lot of fertility around you. So number one, if you're not trying to reproduce, if it's possible, I would take precautions. Also, for those of you with a partner, y'all might be introducing new things to the bedroom, and I think that they're going to be very enjoyable. I just spit everywhere, but maybe that's well, you know, that's fitting for the interpretation. But I'm glad you're not here, as I'm just spittle all over you. I also just think, like, life is going to be flowing in a way that makes you feel like you've never been this lucky, but really it's just you've never been this free and this uninhibited in terms of just unapologetically putting yourself, your dreams, your desires, and your curiosities first. I just definitely think that the energy building within you is very positive. And it's not only creative energy, but it's also energy that's just leading you to more blessings and more abundance and more inspiration and more opportunities and ways and abilities to manifest even more into your world, to bring even more. I kind of want to see what these two cards say though, but I don't know what I did with, like, the little booklet. I don't know where it went. Oh wait, is it still in the bag? No, it is not. It is gone. So I don't know if I see it. And oh, here it is. It's underneath my little paper. Okay, let's see what manifestation says. What is clear and what is true is ready to be made visible. That is the best version of manifestation I've ever seen. So first of all, I think what's new is what's clear and true is it's just visible and apparent. But then with good fortune, prosperity, unexpected gift, a reward not necessarily earned. But honestly, I feel like you might feel like what did I do to deserve this? But it's like you existed. You were. That's what you did. Like, you're so lovable. And I feel like the universe is just living for how you are going to be living. Like, there's so much life in the next 3 months for you. It just makes me really excited for you. And I just really hope you make the most of it. And if you don't have travel plans, you probably should. Okay. Even if it's just to another city or, you know, a place within your city or town that you've wanted to go to, but you haven't. Like, especially if you like if you live in a city, you know, I highly doubt you do the touristy things in your city. Go do the freaking touristy things. Go have fun. Go pretend to be a tourist in your own city. Like, do the things that you've never really done, because it's not what locals do. Never know what cool stuff could happen. But if that idea, you're like, no, that sounds stupid and I don't want to do that, then don't do it, because you know what's right for you. Okay. Now, what is blooming and flourishing? We have the Three of Cups and we have Healer. So this is beautiful. So I just feel like there's a lot of joy and positivity and healing experiences. I think that like friendships, for example, could be very powerful during this time. Like you could just have really healing times with your friends, or you could be meeting friends that just fit really well with the person that you're becoming, or just fit really well with who you are. I definitely think that just opportunities to celebrate and have fun and be joyful and like, you know, be merry, that is blooming during this time. Like, I think that one of the most healing things you can do for yourself in the next 3 months is just savor the moment and be, you know, celebrate life as it is with those that you care about. And also, I think that if there's been heaviness in like a specific relationship, say like a romantic relationship or something like that, you know, if that heaviness is something that you realize like, it's not my job to fix, and I'm not the cause of it, I think that like friendships and other connections might be really healing, nourishing, and bloom during this time in a way that shows you all the love that maybe you've been missing out on. But I feel like that's a very specific interpretation, and those of you who that's for will know. But like, even with, if you're in a romantic relationship and like things have been kind of heavy, or just like you haven't been able to connect, I feel like whatever wounds or like insecurities or uncertainties or fears that have surfaced or resurfaced during that time, I think what's blooming is like healing reconnection that shows you what is just fear, but also like that reminds you like why you're committed to this person, why that matters to you, like why you guys work well together. I feel like there's just like, and it doesn't even have to be related to that, but I just saw those specific interpretations, so I wanted to give them. Ultimately though, like this is communion with those that bring you joy and that love having you in their life. Like, I definitely think the opportunities for fun are quite strong, and I think that this is also a time where, because like I said, there's not only like there's versatility and vitality, but there's versatility and adaptability when it comes to how your life is structured. So I feel like there's definitely going to be opportunities for you to go and have fun with like just to go out and have fun with those that you care about, or stay in and have fun with those that you care about. And I think what's beautiful is there's a healthy balance here. Like, you're not doing this from a place of escape. You're not doing this. It's like the connections that bring you joy and nourish you, those are blooming during this time, and you have the opportunity to just have quality time and celebrate being together in the present with them. And there's a very healing quality to it where you're just recognizing, like, I feel like some of the past work that you've done and past changes that you've made are part of the reason why this area of your life is blooming, why like your connections and your relationships are strengthening, and why your ability to just have fun and celebrate and be on the lighter side of life. Like, I feel like it's going to be really healing for you to embrace that, and also recognize, like, I made it possible to allow myself to enjoy this more. So give yourself credit for that as well. There's definitely, like, this also tells me that you're not going to be completely isolated in the next 3 months. This tells me that there's a healthy balance between connection and I guess I wouldn't say isolation. I would say like connection and solitude. Solitude is a better word. Anyway, let's see what quiet changes are taking root beneath the surface during this. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. So you're coming home to yourself. Like, you're building a beautiful home for yourself. I mean, maybe for some of you, you're literally building a home, which in that case, like, fun, have fun. But really, I feel like you are creating such a welcoming home within yourself, and experiencing home through your connections, through expansion in your world, that you're kind of making home wherever you are, because you always have it within you. But also, you're creating a level of stability and joy that's like foundational to your everyday life that I don't think you've ever thought was possible, or that I don't think you've ever even known like is available to you. But also, as well, for those of you that are looking for romantic relationships, or for those of you that are I guess just have a certain goal in mind in terms of, you know, what you want to experience. Like, if you have a big goal, like I want to get married, or I want to renew my vows, or I want to move to this country, or I want to, you know, whatever it is, like, there's something homecoming about this. Like, I want to find my home. I feel like you are creating home within you in ways that make you realize that you'll be okay no matter what. But also, I feel like for some of you, there's these changes that are happening are going to give you more hope for a relationship you already have, or hope for your love life in general. Because, like, also let me say, it's absolutely okay to be concerned with your love life and have a desire for that. I feel like society is a little bit too emotionally unavailable and too cool for school. And I think it's kind of embarrassing of them, because that stuff's fun. And yes, there are other aspects of life that are fun too. I'm not saying that they're not, but I do feel like there is a lot of energy building around belongingness and feeling at home and feeling connected to that feeling in a way that transcends a physical location. Because the location, I guess, is just your vessel. But also attracting and finding, or keeping, harmonizing, and rebalancing those relationships that make that feel like home, and that are, you know, just part of what makes your life sweet. And I also think, you know, if there's anything that you felt like is too far gone, or cannot, like, or maybe like is hopeless, I think you might be realizing that the changes that you're making actually create hope in this in a specific situation where that would apply. Like, I feel like you're starting to be hopeful again, like, oh, maybe this is possible, or maybe this can't happen. Like, you're not beyond saving, or the situation is not beyond saving. But let's go ahead and finish off. Well, we're not finishing off, we still have guidance, but this part at least, and see what blessings you will be harvesting at the end of this season. Oh hell yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Okay, I've been swearing too much, but does that say inspiration? Yeah, it kind of looked like perspiration, and I'm like, you're gonna be authoritative and sweaty. Okay, I love this. I mean, I was talking about divine masculine energy, and like, here it is. Like, by the end of this process, you are going to be the emperor in a very powerful way, because here's one thing about the emperor that is not true about the empress, is that the emperor does not need to be connected to the divine to build and rule and trust his own authority. You see how barren the shit behind him is? One of the blessings of this time is you are building a level of faith in the divine, in source, in the universe, and a level of trust within yourself that anytime you do feel completely disconnected from the universe, are super uncertain, or just, you know, feel like it's all on you to make something happen, you can still do it. And not only that, you trust yourself. Like, you don't need to know or have an idea or even an inkling of what you need to know in order to do right by yourself. Like, this is a level of control, authority, stability, and empowerment that honestly is like, there are no words for how powerful of a gift this is, no matter who you are, because you're standing in your own authority. Nobody is going to be taking advantage of you, and you're taking the lead in your own life in a way where you can honestly say, like, you are living life to the fullest. You are living to your potential. You have no regrets. Like, this is you're reaping the benefits of stepping up and living life to the fullest, even when you don't have all of you there, or you're uncertain of yourself. Like, just trying. The blessing of trying is that you will reap succeeding. You will harvest success. And I think that really, honestly, like, the sky's the limit in terms of what you can do and what you can accomplish, because you don't even need the universe behind your back or reassurance that it's right, because the power of will that you have, you can just make things happen anyway. Sure enough, I mean, you'll probably want to connect to something greater, but there's greater freedom in your own human vision, in your own plans, in your own authority, that's leading to more inspiration, more ways to connect to the divine. Because I know I was saying, like, there is some disconnection from the divine here, but really the disconnection is about the fact that you can be disconnected. Even though we're never truly disconnected, you can be stuck in an illusion of disconnection, I guess we can say, and still do right by yourself, know what you need to do, and make the best decisions for yourself, for those that are in your world, for those that might be under your care, or, you know, for what you have already built, for your empire, essentially. And with inspiration, I feel like the experiences you have in the next 3 months are just adding to the richness of what you continue to build. I feel like this will be a profoundly inspiring time that will really reinforce it'll reinforce what should and shouldn't be part of your process, give you more conviction in the thought processes that work for you, and also just like inspiration will come for you in ways to just like make your life more exciting, brighter. You know, it doesn't even have to be about creations, but like inspiration for like the type of future you want to build, like the person you see yourself with. Like, for those of you that are trying to manifest an emperor type person, it's by stepping into these energies yourself that you can truly recognize them. Because, you know, empowerment and being like domineering, or I'm an alpha, you know, domineering, like, I'm an alpha, like, I don't have emotions, I wake up at 5 a.m, I get in my cold plunge. Like, not making fun of a cold plunge, like, love that for you, bestie. Like, wake up at 5 a.m, but like, don't make it your personality. Like, if you get your shit done, it objectively should not matter where the Earth's rotation is in the sky. Like, whether the sun's up or down, if you're getting it done, you're getting it done. I don't know. I don't get the whole morning, like, morning people can be full of hubris sometimes. And I get it. Mornings are great. I enjoy the times when I'm awake in the morning, but like, you are not a better person than me because you got your tasks done sooner. Like, I don't know. Does anyone else agree with that? Like all my love to morning people, but I feel like some morning people can be like, what time did you wake up today? Oh, noon. And it's like, yeah, but like, I did the same things. Anyway, I'm like, it's 8 p.m. Go to bed. I know you were curious about how I felt about morning people, but this is just really beautiful. Like, I feel like this is just greater confidence, authority, and trust in yourself. And really, honestly, like, the sky is the limit for the next 3 months, but after these next 3 months, the galaxy is the limit, I think, and that shit's infinite. So, oh, I'm excited for you. But let's go ahead and finish your reading off with a final guidance card. I don't know what this accent is. I'm just getting goofy because I'm excited to post this and for you guys to see it, and yeah, I don't know. Okay, my group threes, what guidance should I leave my group threes with? Oh, okay. We have preservation, preservation, where is it? There it is. A dream is dormant, not lost. The reticence to accept something positive. A slow awakening to love. It is okay to take your time. You know what's funny? I feel like this is a lot faster than you realize. Maybe you just have the perspective that like this is slow, but like 3 months is objectively very quick to get into this energy or master this energy. So just, I want to give you props there. It is okay to take your time. Emotional barriers, self-preservation may have become self-sabotage, rejecting opportunity due to fear or anxiety. The dismissal of kindness or a doubt over someone's intention is unwarranted. Peace is a surrendering. Love is vulnerable. Allow yourself to trust and believe that love is here for you. You are safe, protected, and loved by the divine. Let love water the seeds of joy, creativity, and contentment that lie within you. Accept the blessings of this world into your heart so that your true self can blossom. And I want to mention, like, this reading has been so positive that I have to wonder if some of you guys have been like, is this really my reading? I feel like this is too positive to be my reading. And I mean, if you really feel like this energy is so far away from you that it just doesn't seem realistic, feel free to pick one of the other two groups. But I do feel like you watch this, like, this is what it's leading to. But for a lot of you, I feel like you just overestimate how much time and energy it takes to get into this state that we're talking about. It's actually a lot more effortless than you realize, because it doesn't come from trying to do, it comes from surrendering, and it comes from not needing to figure out what to do, but listening to those little nudges that tell you what to do. Accept the blessings of this world into your heart so your true self can blossom. I definitely think you're going to be doing that. Seeds take refuge in the soil and wait for rain. Long periods of dry can change the soil so that when the rain comes, the water beads on the surface unable to penetrate. So that when the rain comes, the water beads on the surface are unable to penetrate the dry ground. The seeds need the rain to trigger them to life, but the soil has become hydrophobic, a term that literally means a fear of water. Of course, the soil is not afraid. Deep down, it craves water, but it will only become absorbent with exposure to more and more water. Hydrophilic or water-loving soil can absorb and make the most of the lightest rains, but soil that has been denied moisture for an extended period needs to be exposed to far more before even a drop can be absorbed. When water finally sinks in, the seeds preserved within the soil abandon their sleep and rejoice in growth. Water is life, so is love. When someone is denied kindness, comfort, or the blessings of life, they can become reluctant or even unable to accept them. But a steady deluge of love will eventually break through the surface. Let love in. The seeds of hope and joy are preserved within, waiting for love to bring them to life. So I almost wonder too if maybe this guidance as well is about like maybe someone in your life. Because, you know, maybe you're ready for something that they're not, or they're not able to let love in the way that you are. And maybe that, like, that's meant to just help you understand, like, it's not a failure on your part. It's not a shortcoming on your part that you may not be able to reach someone as deeply as you wish. But, like, that also doesn't mean that they'll be like that forever. But it might mean to take less personally the ways in which, like, other people can't see or meet you at this place, if that's relevant. But I feel like for those of you that are like, I don't know how I'm gonna get here, stop trying to find the answers outside of yourself and just turn your fucking phone off and go out into the nature for like an hour. And instead of thinking, oh, I need to figure this out, just focus on thinking about nothing. And if you struggle to think about nothing, then picture something. Like, I like to picture Homer Simpson, but you can picture the Cookie Monster, or just, you know, anything that consumes. I like to think of Homer Simpson and donuts. And every time a thought arises, think of it as a donut or a cookie. And your inner Homer or Cookie Monster eats the thought. It sounds silly, but it works. And it's really helpful, and it's also fun. So that's my recommendation for helping quiet your brain. But also trust too that maybe the most powerful answers won't come in a sense that is normal or expected. So like, if you typically get like insight just from like words appearing in your brain or thoughts appearing in your brain, maybe the powerful, profound insight comes through feeling, or through a vision, or through a song that comes through your head. Like, trust what feels right over what you think is true. And maybe instead of feel, trust what you sense is aligned over what you think should be true. So group 3, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me. You know the deal. All the links and stuff and ways to support me will be down below. But yeah, thank you for being here. I love you guys so much, and I'm really excited for these next 3 months. Let me know where you're going, what you're gonna do, because I'm excited for you. And yeah, definitely let me know how these next 3 months serve you, if you can remember. But no worries if you can't. But yeah, I love you guys so much. I really hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this, and I hope you'll all come back and see me again soon. Bye.